Look, and now my name ring bells. All across the world, so my name ring bells.
Welcome to Fade the Booth with your host, the best deep threat ever, DeSean Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your main man, DeSean Jackson. You now tuned in to Fade the Booth. I got my big bro, my big homie, one of my idols growing up. I got yours truly, man. Big bro, Mike Vick. What's up, bro?
What's good, Jack? You know what it is.
Hey, man,
you know what it is, man. You back.
Hey, you know what's crazy, man? Like, this is probably like my sixth or seventh episode now since, I entered this field on the podcast on my own show. And I did things a little different this time around, man. Usually I go do homework. I find out all this information about people. I write down notes, but I'm like,
you're supposed to. You're a journalist now. You're supposed to.
But I'm like with big bro, I don't need to do that shit. I'm just gonna have a conversation with my big bro, my nigga, man, one of the realest ever, that's man. Right. And shit, we in the booth now. Now we in the Fade the Booth. It's not filtered. We ain't got no script. We just gonna have fun and talk some shit, bro.
Like we always do.
Yeah, what's up though, man? It's good catching up with you, man. I know you're in a different space now in your life, man, and your journey. And I kind of just wanted to talk on that for a little bit, man, on your journey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, Jack, because, I mean, Jack, you used to always tell me, like, man, for real, like, when I get up in my years, like, I want the same type of things you got. And I was looking at you like, you got a long way to go, you know what I'm saying? And you got to enjoy your career. You got to get the most out of your career. But, when we linked up, when I got to Philly, that was like year 10 for me. So I was on another level, you know what I'm saying, in terms of maturity,
right,
where I wanted to go in my life, and knowing that, the end was almost near, but at the same time, like, I still got a long way to go too, you know what I'm saying? So over the years, just maturing, man, and becoming more family oriented, got the kids with me, family with me, man. It's all about family now. Alleviated all, I had to trim a lot of fat, man, in terms of people around me, becoming more about myself. I had to love myself more and the people who really cared about me more. And then the time that I put into others, man. So just a lot of life learning lessons, man, that I had to go through to make myself a better person. But to answer your question, all in all, I say, just the ultimate family man now, doing whatever I can, make sure that, my family keep a smile on their face, teaching and leading in the household, and that's more than enough for me.
Right. And
be deep over here.
Hey, it's crazy though, because you talk about your family and how it made you more of a family man oriented. But since I've known you, bro, you've always been a family man. You always had wifey, you always had your family, your kids, moms, brother. Like since I know
that's what I meant that's what I meant when I said, like, yo, you should see me with the family. You used to always be like, man, I never forget, I always tell Kiara, like, how you used to be like, man, you love your girl, don't you? You love your wife. I used to always be like, yeah, man, she like everything to me. And then I had my 3 kids, my 2 daughters running around behind me. And it's like, I always embrace that. That's when I'm at my happiest.
Right.
When I got my when I'm around my family. And now, you got 2 baby boys, right?
For sure.
Or you got a 3rd?
I got 3, but I entered the field. I started a little late, but I entered the field, so I know what it's like now. You remember back then, I ain't had no kids.
Yeah. I mean, you was young boss, D-Jack, you know what I'm saying? And I knew that transformation was coming. I just wanted to watch it happen with no pressure, with no stress. Like I wanted you to do you. There was times when you had to grow up, when you and Coach used to get into it a little bit, and I used to have to step in, but you came a long way from that, bro.
But it's crazy. The coach, I think that you're actually talking about is Marty Morningwig. He back in Philadelphia now. That's what you talking about, Marty, or you talking about Andy?
I'm talking about Andy, but Marty too. I ain't know Marty was back in.
You remember I got into it with Marty, I want to say like 2010, 2011. We got into it in the meeting rooms. But he back in Philly now.
Yeah, man. Tell Marty I love him when you talk to him, man. That's my dude. For real.
Sure.
That's my guy. He taught me everything I know, man. The reason I'm able to talk about the game and understand the game now, and you'll see as you further your career, away from football, like, everything that we learn gonna come in handy when it's all said and done, bro. You'll experience that, and obviously one day we'll talk about it.
For sure. No, that's definitely Dope. So I kind of want to just go back a little bit, like your earlier days, growing up, in Virginia. Obviously,
Yeah.
You come from the same home. If I'm not mistaken, you come from the same hometown as Allen Iverson, and
Yeah.
I just kind of want to relive that moment for a little
Shout out
bit.
to
Growing
AI.
up, oh, huh?
Shout out to AI.
Oh yeah. Shout out, big bro AI. But yeah, I just want to relive that moment, man. Growing up in Virginia, what was it like for you as a little kid? And like, when did you really realize that you was tapped in on another level and you was gonna be special in football?
I think about the age of 9, Jack. Like my first play at quarterback when I was 9 years old, bro. I dropped back and threw a touchdown pass. Like first play ever. I didn't know what I was doing. Coach was just like, take the ball, drop it, and throw it to your right, drop back and throw it to your right side. And then, things kind of like, it wasn't as smooth. And then I came back the next year and played running back. And then like when I was 11 years old, just from going from playing quarterback to running back in 2 years, I packaged all that up and was like, yo, when I got the ball in my hands, if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm going to run it. And if I like what I'm seeing, I'm going to throw it. So it just transcended into me like becoming this little dual threat at a young age. But it was another guy in my district who was just as good. But when I was young, and then obviously, growing up in the hood, playing in the hood, we running around in the backyard. Anybody got no cleats on? Like you can't. The only cleats you can afford is the cleats that you get during season. So in the backyard, we playing on the grass with regular tennis shoes. So I'm trying to get my balance, and you making cuts in regular tennis shoes.
Right.
Most of the time they ain't got no name brand. They ain't name brand, so you sliding all over the place, but you keeping your balance. That's where we got our leg strength from. And all that combined, bro. I think just everything combined from where I grew up, how I grew up, who I grew up around, like helped, shape and mold my whole little thought process on what I wanted to be.
Right.
Even though I felt like, being a quarterback was going to be a challenge, I still kept pushing for it.
Was it ever a time that you and AI played together? Is he a little bit older than you?
Yeah, he's 4 years older than me, so Wayne crossed paths.
Right.
He was older, so I used to always go to the games and just be scoping out, like, damn, that dude, he crazy. Like his game I just knew it was something different about him. Then when I went and watched him play basketball, even when I was in like 9th grade, I was watching him like, yo, dude, he gonna play in the NBA. He might not play in the NFL because he was small.
Exactly.
Like y'all about the same size. He was a little small in stature, but he still had the skill. But just being able to watch somebody that good, it just gives you hope and ambition. And then like 2 years later, once he came out of prison, he was on his way to the pros, and I seen him one time, and he had on 2 Rolexes, and he had the chains on, and just a dope look. I'm like, bro, I got to get to where you at one day, man. Like he was like, yo, it's possible, you can do it. Just stay focused, and that was all I needed to hear, bro.
Man, that's big. I think coming from a younger version, obviously looking up, me, I looked up to AI and you. Like it was something about y'all at that time. You get what I'm saying? And then like it kind of created me to who I am. So now, like when we talked the other day, I was like, it's like 3 dudes you could say go down the history for who looked the sweetest. Like they own creative player.
Yeah.
AI, Mike Vick, and D-Jack, bro. What's something about us? Like everybody else, like y'all niggas look the sweet.
We created our own identity. We created
Definitely.
our own identity. And what's so crazy how you created yours watching me and him. I created mine watching him.
Right.
Like from everything, Jack, from cornrows to chains to cars. Like bro used to come through with like the Bentleys, 5 of them. The Rolls Royce. Like it was just a good look, and that was cool because we was able to create our own look, and that go a long way, man. It's go a long way in terms of the culture and what we tried to build. Like I used to watch you when you was in the locker room, and I used to see. I used to just always tell you like, Jack, just make sure you always being careful. Know the company you keep in your surroundings. Learn from me. So I'm glad that you, Shady, Macklin, y'all kept y'all wits about y'all. Y'all ain't go out and lose it all like I did, because everybody can't come back from that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was able to come back. Thank God, you know, I had guys like Andy and Roger, Tony, Tony Dungy in my corner. But you know, so I monitor y'all closely. I was always watching, you know, making sure y'all did it right.
Yeah, that's one thing I can definitely speak on. I remember in 2010 when you entered the locker room, man, and for me it was like damn near a dream come true because, you know, no disrespect to Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb was, you know, a great quarterback when I came in too, but it was a different move setting when Michael Vick came into the locker room, man. Like I could just remember growing up and being a little kid and just like looking up to Michael Vick. He used to have his own commercial. He used to have his own shoes. And it was just like the jewelry, the change, just like the real nigga aspect. It's like being young, coming from Cali, like I want to be like him, bro. So I could just remember when you entered the locker room, it was something different, bro. And it was almost like a dream come true, but then it was almost like it wasn't real. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
you remember them days.
Yeah, look. So I come into the locker room and I'm seeing y'all and I'm like, man, if I get a chance to play with them, it's over. That's all I'm thinking. Like, I ain't ever been a part of nothing like this. Right. Yeah, I respect Donovan. I respect what he do. I idolized Donovan growing up. So I mean, being in the locker room was like a dream come true for me, being next to him, because I almost went to Syracuse because of him. You know, and then I wanted to, you know, do my own thing. But, you know, he had a lot of influence on me. When I seen Donovan go pro, you know, when I seen him go to the league in the 99 draft, Andy Reid drafted him number 3 in the draft overall, it just gave me hope. It gave me so much hope. I was like, now I know being a black quarterback, I can, you know, I can make it. And you know, I got a chance, you know, even if, you know, I know I'm good enough to go, you know, in the top, whatever. If it come down to it, you know, at least I seen somebody who I idolized have a shot. So being in that locker room next to Donovan was hella cool, and being able to, you know, just being there with you, Westbrook, the first year, all of, man, we had the coolest locker room ever, man. I wouldn't change a thing about that.
You know, we was really supposed to win the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, man, we got robbed in 2010, man.
Oh, we lost to Coop. Was that Green Bay?
Coop, yeah. Coop dropped that pass against Green Bay, man. Well, Coop ain't go up and knock it down. I know that's a story for another day, man. But yeah, right. Man, where the hell Raleigh at? Raleigh, you cost us one, though.
And Rodney Cooper, bro.
Cost us one, bro. For real, man.
Hey,
should have threw it to you.
Hey, man, it's all, you know how I go. But
yeah.
I kind of just want to reminisce a little bit, bro, because back in 2013, you know, I never really like to speak on Chip Kelly, but you know,
man,
I gotta go back to that year because I remember, you know, you got Michael Vick, you got LaShawn McCoy, you got me, you got Jeremy Maclin, Brent Selleck. We had so much firepower, bro. And it was like the minute Chip Kelly got the head coaching job and he came in, I know you're going to remember this shit too, because our first practice, it was like an OTA practice. Our first practice, we out there on the field and he like, nobody got a starting position.
Yeah.
Like we all had to earn our positions. And I'm like, man, you got Michael Vick, the number 1 pick. You got me. You got, and you telling us we got to fucking earn our position?
Hot. I was so hot, bro. You know what? I remember that vividly because my boy came home one day. He bought a newspaper article or something. And he was like, yeah, Chip Kelly said that everybody was going to have to battle for their position. And I'm like, I can understand a battle with Nick Foles.
Right.
No disrespect to Dennis Dixon. That's my man. I love Dennis. He know that. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm not battling with Dennis too. You know what I mean? Like, for real. And then I was like I knew y'all was good. I knew y'all was good.
But it was just a simple fact, though, right?
Like, we got here really fact. Like, come on, bro. Like, you acting like, coach, you acting childish.
Hey, what was that? I mean, for you, man, shit. Like I say, the accolades I can speak on and on about your career.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Go ahead, though.
And everything you've been through, but for a person like yourself, and like you said, no disrespect to Dennis Dixon or Nick Foles, but someone like you, like you're like the human joystick. You're like the creator that hasn't been created before. Yeah. What was that process like for you? Obviously, I can go back to even Donovan because I know you knew your role when you had to get back into the NFL, right? So you had to play the role. You had to do certain things, but you knew your talent. Obviously, you sat down in prison for a year. So I know just not being able to play and not being able to throw the ball, obviously you was a little rusty. But coming in that 2013 year after having the year we had like in 2012, what was that for you to have to compete and earn a position, especially knowing who you were?
And let me tell you, first of all, it humbled me. And what I realized was, no man is above his position. And as I look back on it, it made me better. It made me better that year. Just the fact that Chip Kelly ran us to death, and I just ran out of gas. My legs, I ain't have but so much left.
Right.
He ran us so much in the spring. He ran 3 years off my career in
We was running track
3
meets
months.
at practice.
Yeah, straight up. So, I mean, bro, the funny story I was gonna tell you is, I knew I had to battle Nick, so I got mentally prepared for it because, it's about pride and it's about, everything you stand for at the time. And I'm like, I am, still one of the best in the league. And here I go having to prove myself in practice before I can even get to the game. Right. And I'm glad they did it that way because I found out a lot about myself in that battle. Number one, I found out that I could do it. I could step up and rise to the occasion when need be in every aspect of situational football, whether it's first down, whether it's third down, whether it's no huddle, whether it's 2 minute, whatever y'all asking me to do in a new system, I'm going to do it and show that I'm mentally capable and physically capable. And, I won the battle with Nick eventually, but I can remember like 2 weeks before I got named the starter, I was in my hyperbaric chamber and I was laying in that chamber, bro, because I felt like I had played good in like a preseason game. Mm-hmm. It was the first preseason game, and I just went ham in practice. No picks, no nothing, whatever. We was connecting. I knew how to throw it to you. Everybody else got to learn how to throw it to you. I knew how to throw it to you. Right. Man, I'm laying in my hyperbaric chamber crying straight tears, Jack. I'm crying tears. I probably hadn't cried in 5 years, maybe now. I had some trauma, a couple years before. Right. But I'm crying for a different reason though. I'm crying because they making me work for my spot, and I feel like I already earned it. Yeah. And I'm just in there crying tears, man. I called my high school coach, and I was just venting to him, and I was like, man, I feel like I done did everything right. Mm-hmm. And but I won the battle. I started the season. We got up to a good start, and y'all finished it. When I went out. So that's the way it was supposed to go down.
I gotta speak on it. I gotta touch on it. We had some crazy games. We had some crazy plays, but one in particular stands out. And I know you always get asked about it because I always get asked about it. So I just want to go back down memory lane, man. 2013, man, Washington Redskins game, man. We put up 59 points.
We went ham on them.
I think you probably had career numbers. I fucking went crazy.
2010.
That's right, my bad. 2010. Yeah, man. Just
only reason I know that because I don't mean to cut you off. I know that because we talking about it this Sunday on the show.
All right, so 2010. I know I got mixed up because we talking about the year Chip Kelly was there in 2013. Yeah. 2010. So I can remember, and I'm gonna go back and speak on a little bit because, like you was talking on Marty Morningwig. For those who are sitting back watching this, Marty Morningwig, man, he has to go down as one of the greatest offensive coordinators of all time. Like the plays he implemented, the coverages he broke down, just running certain routes, certain concepts, bro. It was like no other, man. And like him being back in Philadelphia right now, I implement like a lot of these plays that Tyreek Hill, some of the best deep threats in the game right now, like all that shit we implemented back in like 20. Yeah. Really, I look at it, my rookie year was 2008. But long story short, the angle routes, the circle posts,
deep angles, the circle posts.
Speak on that a little bit, bro, because obviously and leading up to that 2010 game when we played the Redskins, like what do you think that philosophy is that Marty Morningwig has about just knowing the concepts in the routes?
Yeah, I think Marty did a great job, man, cooking it up and putting it together and calling it and even. The offensive guru upstairs was behind it too. Big Red. You know what I mean?
Big
Red
shout out Andy Reid.
Yo, shout out to Coach, man. Coach Coach knew how to put it together. Andy knew how to put it together. Marty knew how to call it. I think collectively together, they they knew how to use talent. I was talking about it on the show a couple of weeks ago. Like, you know, they truly know how to match up the play calling with the talent.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with you running down the middle on the divides and the flanker circle post, there wasn't no safety that can hang with you or no safety that can run with you back there. We was calling them plays for a reason.
Right.
And Marty was calling them at the right time, man. And he was, man, and it's, that's what I expect to see y'all doing now. I'm not even gonna lie.
Man.
You know, it's kind of upsetting, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, here you go, one of the fastest guys in the game, you know, still to this day. And, you know, I know Marty in a different position. And look, I love those guys. I love Doug. I love, you know what I'm saying? I respect it. So, and I know how hard football is. I know how, you know, trust me, I never sit and play Monday morning quarterback. You know, I do because they pay me for it. But I'm gonna give the right advice. Right. You know, I'm gonna call it how I see it. And I think you should be put in situations where, you know, you can bring all that back. Because all you're doing now is paying it forward to the younger guys that's up under you and showing them how to do it. You know, we all know we can't play for forever.
Right.
You know, so you know, this has got to be a cool time for you. You know what I'm saying? And I know Marty's still sitting around talking skyrockets in flight. You tell him I said what's up when y'all talk, man.
You definitely, you know I will. But speak on that Monday night game, though, bro. I can't let you get off the show without.
You already know, man. Look, people, you talking about it on this Sunday, bro, and they asked me what was my greatest game of my career, and you know, that was it. You know, all because the way you set it off. You set it off with a little drama.
I talked about that drama too. You know, I had to tell everybody you had my back and you was ready to throw the blows with me.
Yeah. You set it off with the drama, and then they gave. Hold on, let me start from the beginning. The origin of the day. You know, they gave Donovan the contract right before the game started. Remember that?
For sure.
They gave Donovan the contract, and then next thing you know, Landry popping off to you. Y'all get into it. It's heated out there. I'm like, okay, you know, and the fact that D'Angelo Hall. Shout out to D'Angelo.
Coming up from Virginia.
Yeah, he broke my ribs like 4 weeks prior. So we coming into this game like, and they thinking they little badasses too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for real, they thought they had something. And then that first play, they ain't know Andy's first 15 be crazy. The first 15 plays ain't no joke. you know, and then the next 15. You know, pretty much the first 30 is just, you know, we go buck wild. And they ain't know we was about to do that. See, the one thing people ain't know is how prepared we was, Jack. Like, y'all was smart football players. Y'all knew where to go. You know, I got the ball. Of course, you know, quarterback got it. We got to think our way through the game, but y'all knew what to do. Y'all knew when to sit in zones. You knew when you was open. You know, you ain't let me get away with too much. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I like about you. That game was ball distribution. Jason got involved. Shady was involved. Matt got involved, quote one. You set the tone. I remember you catching a couple more balls throughout the game. Maybe not. You might have had 2 catches for like 95 yards or something. But that was the thing about you, bro. I always talk about how you weren't selfish. You was never, as long as we won the game, and I tell everybody, as long as we won the game, and as long as you caught a bomb, you was good.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
But you know, I still don't think there's nobody to this day, but I don't even think the numbers can compare to your yards per catch. What's your yards per catch now?
Over my career?
Yeah, over your career.
It's probably about 17, 18, somewhere in that range.
I mean, you still got to be somewhere up high, bro. Yeah, you still got to be somewhere up high. That's legendary, bro.
Right. You think one of the records that sits special with me, man, is the, you know, over 60 yards touchdowns beating the one and only Jerry Rice, bro. And I know you threw me at least about 8 of them, maybe 10 of them things.
It'll never be that record. It's gonna be a long time before that record gets shattered. And bro, I tell everybody this too. Stories untold, I call them. Every time I threw the ball to you, most of the time on deep balls, I thought I overthrew you. So when I used to let it go, I used to be like, damn, I threw it too far. Because you was the only person that could exhaust my arm ever in life.
Dang.
He was the only person that can run my arm out. And my receiver, Michael Davis in college.
Okay.
He had it, but you was just like a
different on tracking the ball.
Yeah, and then you used to just, man, I remember one time we was backed up against Baltimore. We was on a 1 yard line, and you know, our situational football backed up. We used to always have that, you know, all go, or it used to be all go, or, you know, 24, 25, you know, double go or something.
Yeah.
And we called it, and I'm like, oh, I'm throwing it to Jack. And then Ed Reed almost got over there. We was at Baltimore at home, 2012.
I remember that.
Second game of the season, and I threw it on the sideline. Just another one where I was like, I can remember, like, damn, I overthrew it. And you caught, you know what I mean? You caught it, bro. You was special, dog. You was special to play with. I remember when I left Philly, man, I was sad as hell. I was sad. I remember me, you and Shady at the locker room, in the locker room talking at the end.
Yeah.
And we just knew it was the end, and we knew it was over. And you know, I
left the same. We left the same.
You did.
You remember that was the first year with Chip Kelly? I left after that. We both was gone.
You did.
We left the same
year.
You
went to Washington.
I went to Washington. You know, that's why I say, man, so many people talk about that shit. Like, bro, he broke up a great situation, man, where we could for sure. That was already our first year playing in that new offense. So you just think if you would have kept us together for 2 years, like ain't no telling what would have happened when he came out 2014. And the same offense, ain't no telling what would have happened. You get what I'm saying? So he just cut us short, man.
That's what got Chip out of there. Because it was one thing you let me go. I was up in age, but you was only in like your 5th year, bro.
That was my best year in my prime, bro.
You was in your prime.
Career yardage.
like when the next time another DeSean Jackson is gonna come around? That's what it boiled down to. When the next time you're gonna get a number 1 receiver in here that, you know, now they got outshined years later and they won the Super Bowl, but you know, I was with a whole different coaching staff and a whole different.
But you know what I speak on when they talk about them winning in 2017. I tell everybody, man, that we implemented that team. We structured that team. You got to think all them young dudes on that team was our young boys. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Benny Curry,
Kendricks,
Zach Ertz. You get what I'm saying? Like they learned from us. Like we gave them the philosophy, bro. So you know, credit them, man. When they won, I felt like I won, even though I was down in Tampa playing. Like I still took some felt like I was
something to be proud about. Yeah, it's something to be proud about. Like we put our years in Philly, man. And I know I came in at the tail end, and I was just trying to help us win the championship. The city was thirsty. Right. They needed it, and we felt that vibe, and we wanted to conquer this.
Definitely, most definitely, man. So I kind of want to shift a little bit, man. You know, we're in an era now for the black quarterback, the mentality of the black quarterback, and it's a stigma on black quarterbacks. And I want to, you know, touch on that briefly because I know we have some crazy talented young black quarterbacks. I could say Russell Wilson. I could say Lamar Jackson. I can say Kyle Murray. Shit, what's a few more out there? This black
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Jameis Winston. Yeah. Like,
you know what I'm saying? So the era right now, Tyrod Taylor. The era right now with the black quarterback, obviously, you know, you go down in history. You were the first black quarterback picked number 1 overall, right?
Yeah, the first black quarterback to be drafted number 1 overall.
Come on, man. You know, I gotta salute my dog. This is my big bro. Like this shit is history, y'all. He in the booth.
It's black history.
We gotta hit him. Then to pay the booth. My boy,
100.
Hey, look though. So I just man. So I just want to kind of touch on that a little bit. What do you think the black quarterback era has evolved to, and what do you think the stigma is on? You know, they saying quarterbacks can't read defenses. They run. They always want to run. They're not passing first. Because I know you had to deal with a lot of that growing up.
Yeah. I was always a little like scared growing up. I always wanted to change my position because I was like, man, you know, I heard about the stereotypes and, you know, I felt like, you know, I could throw the ball good, but it also made me feel like I wasn't smart enough. You know, I wasn't the honor student in school and high school or anything like that. I had a 2.4 GPA when I graduated. You know, I wasn't a 3.0 student. They made it seem like you had to be like ultimate, you know, it was the ultimate thinking man's game and that's the only way you could play it. And it became that, but what I found out in college was that it took some time, but I found out that I was smart enough, as I put in time to handle, running the offense, knowing what guys are going to be, being able to keep an eye on the play clock, knowing how to, get in and out of the huddle, being able to read the signal from the sideline, do all this in 25 seconds. At first it was a shock. I was like, man, I can't do this. I wanted to change my position when I got to college.
Damn.
And my coach kept pushing me. My coach, he was white, kept pushing me. You can do it. You can do it. And you know what? You just come to the meetings every day. You're going to travel with the team. Man, half of the time I used to just be in there just looking at the chalkboard. Jack, I ain't know what was going on. And one day it just clicked. It just hit me. Man. I learned defenses first. Coach kept saying, come to the meeting. So I learned defenses. I'm red shirt. I learned defenses. Man, I'm like, I know defenses now. I just got to learn the offense.
Right.
I pieced it all together. And that's when I knew I could do it. I went out there in that spring. I was in a battle with a guy who was a junior who had experience. Knocked him off in 2 weeks. Man. Everything was mental. Like my decision-making was good. I wasn't just taking off with it and doing my thing. Mm-hmm. I was beating them in the passing game and the run game. And they seen it and they respected it. And I think that's where, I was able to put it all together. The pass game with the run game. And I like the pass first. Right. That's what people didn't know. Sure. And then the run just was, just an additive. It was something that, just came along with, with me being behind the center. And then it transcended into this huge thing. And it revolutionized the game. And, it's something I'm extremely proud of. And now you got these quarterbacks now, black quarterbacks who come in with better coaching, coming out of high school. They got better coaching in college and the systems that they're running. And by the time they get to the league, they understand the game of football. So when they sit down with these scouts around the league, the Bill Belichick's and the Andy Reid's and, the Mike Tomlins, and they like, all right, so get on this chalkboard and tell me what you know. They getting on the chalkboard and they Xing and on it. And they getting it right, and within minutes, a good offensive coordinator like Marty gonna know Lamar Jackson can run an NFL offense based on what he. So that the part I respect most about that is the fact that, man, in the league they don't see color no more. I can't ever say I wasn't playing in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. I only heard about what happened and what went on. But I know as of right now, when Andy Reid drafted Donovan McNabb number 3 in the 99 draft, coach just don't know, that gave me hope. And I was a kid on the couch, in high school. I was like, yo, man, it was big. So, they paved the way just as much as we work hard to open doors for the ones that come after us. And I know for me it was Cunningham. I know I'm talking, but it was Cunningham.
You giving game, bro.
Yeah, it was Cunningham. It was Warren Moon. It was a couple guys. You probably
Steve McNair.
Steve McNair. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Steve McNair. So man, it just feel good to see the game where it's at now, and then it's even sweeter when you see white quarterbacks take it off and running too. Now I'm like, damn, like.
Ain't nothing wrong with
showing toughness. You know what I mean? Showing toughness, getting that first down. What's wrong with that? Like, yo, it helps the football team, and it's by any means necessary.
Definitely, man. Well, I'm gonna ask you this last question on sports, and then I just want to talk about some lifestyle stuff, and we're gonna hit it. But so who do you, if you had to pick, and I got to do it because I got to put you on the spot. If you had to pick one quarterback right now to lead your offense, you was the head coach. One quarterback, and I'm gonna give you 3 names.
Good.
You gonna
pick?
It's
one name that popped up in my mind right now. And
I'm
gonna tell you who that was, but go ahead.
I'm probably gonna say the name. I hope I say it because I think my IQ football is up there. Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes.
Damn.
It ain't
That's
in
a
that
good list. Nope.
Tell me there. Kyle Murray?
Nope.
Go ahead. I gotta hear this.
And look, I'm gonna break all these guys down. Patrick, graceful. Russell, savvy veteran, know the game, super smart dude, good football player overall. Lamar, freak of nature. I could win with any one of those guys. But when you first raised the question, I thought about DeSean Watson.
Damn. You taking DeSean Watson as your number?
Think about it. They all look the same. You know, I feel like you can put all their names in the hat and I could just grab one.
You know what's
crazy? My quarterback.
You know what's crazy? I was gonna say top 5, but I said let me narrow it down to 3.
Top 5.
But top 5, DeSean Watson would have been in that list.
Right. And I could have said Lamar and gave you a reason why. I could have said Russell and gave you a reason why, or Patrick.
So I just say D because DeSean Watson?
I don't know. I mean, I just he fresh on my mind from the game yesterday, the Thanksgiving game.
He did a shit. They struggling a little bit this year though without D Hop.
Yeah,
they struggled a little bit.
Yeah, they traded D Hop away, lost their coach, and then they done lost the games to teams who making a playoff. But when you lose a guy like, man, that's like me losing you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, come on, you out of nowhere.
Right.
You gone. Like, how you supposed to make that up? Now I really got to step my game up. And you know, he one of the guys that's doing it without his weapons, man. Everybody else, like you know, Russell, you got DK Metcalf and you got Tyler Lockett. You know, Patrick got McCole Hardman. He got Sammy Watkins, Tyreek.
Yeah.
And Lamar, and Kelsey and Lamar.
The only thing Lamar don't have is the talent, though. That's the only, like, I feel like Lamar doesn't have as much talent as the other names.
What you think about Hollywood Brown? Let me throw a question.
It's crazy because I love it. We having a conversation. You know, what's crazy to me is because I always felt like I was the lowest receiver out there. He's smaller than me and he weighed less than me. I didn't think I would never see somebody that's smaller and way less than me come onto the scene and ball out like him.
You think that make a difference? You think that
it do? Because like with Sproles, shit, it's hard for motherfuckers to hit Sproles.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I mean, and Hollywood Brown, he's fast. He has great route control. One thing I liked about Hollywood Brown, because I watched him a lot at Oklahoma, he got playmaking ability skills, bro. And that's something you can't teach. I don't care how big, how NFL is known to be a big man's game. I don't like you seen when I came into the league, like you can't hit what you can't catch what you can't hit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hit what you can't catch. So
no doubt. I know what you're saying.
I love him though, bro. He a hell of a player.
You just got to get the ball into his hands. You got to find a way to put the ball in his hands, I think.
Hey, you know how this shit is, bro. You got heart. All that big shit don't mean nothing, bro.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing.
Coming from where we come from, you know, shit, heart, I'm straight.
Yep.
But that's dope, man. I gotta talk on this conversation. I mean, this story. I think I told you too when you was back in Philly. But I remember I was a little kid, man, and I just kind of wanted to switch over because we're gonna talk about community and inspiring the kids and the youth and people like that. So, man, I was young, man. I think I was probably like 13, 12 years old. I think I told you a story, man. You was at the Beverly Center, the mall in LA. You was like with your crew. You had like 10, 15 dudes with you. You had the do-rag on, the white Air Forces, long white tee.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a little kid and I ran up to you and I was like, Mike Vick. I'm like, what's up, bro? Can I get an autograph? And at that moment, I don't know if something bad happened or whatever, but you wasn't in the moment right now. You were just like, no, not right now.
For real, Jack? Go ahead.
But
pretty cool about that.
Hey, no, it was like I said, you was with 10 of your homies, it was probably, ain't no telling, but I remember coming up to you and I was like, damn, it's like, bro, I love this dude. And I just wanted to holler or whatever. He was just like, not right now. But I could just remember because my brother was like, you know what's crazy? He said, you're going to end up playing with Michael Vick one day. And if I'm not lying, bro, the shit turned out like that. But it just didn't I tell you that story before? You don't remember? You don't recall me telling you that?
I mean, you might have did, but that's probably a story I'm going to forget.
You want to forget?
Yeah, I try to show love to the kid. But damn, man, if I did that, man, I'm sorry, man. I apologize 20 years later.
Man, I love you. I was mad that day. I ain't gonna lie.
You ain't hold it against me. I tell you that much.
I ain't heard because at the end of the day, shit, they got a quote and it's a term. Shit, real niggas fuck up too. So at the end of the day, I mean, shit, but they say players fuck up too.
Damn, I should have, man. Shit, as much love as they show me out here in Cali, man. I rocks with California, man. Good people out here, man.
But I kind of we gotta anytime you step in the booth, man, we got This is DeSean Jackson, the billionaire talk. We got to drop the game on the youth, man. Like, give me some inspiration or, some motivation to a young Michael Vick or a young DeSean Jackson that's grown up, how he grown up, this, under the odds, or they say trying to beat the odds. Like, what is information or what is some motivation you could give back to the young next up and coming Michael Vick?
Yeah, man, life ain't easy, first and foremost. And what you get out of life is what you put in it, in terms of, accomplishing your goals and your dreams. And you got to dream. Like, you just can't go through life and not have direction or people to help you follow that direction. Because we try to do it for ourselves and we think we have all the answers, and we sometimes, like, you feel like, you're 13, but you feel like you're 17, or you're 17, you feel like you're 21.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're 21 and you feel like you're 20. You always gonna feel like you know it all, and I went through that, and then having money ain't help it, because, it hurt my thinking, my way of thinking, and it made me think different. It made me think arrogantly, and when I look back on it, I hate it. So, develop a plan, have a dream, follow your dream, and don't lose sight of who you are as a person, as an individual, because it's easy to get lost. I got lost. We all got lost. You know what I mean? We all got lost, and that loss can come in different forms. Like, for me, I felt like, what I was involved in, I got lost in what was most important. I know it was times for you where, you got a little sidetracked in your career because there was certain things that you wanted at a time where, it was some people might have felt like it wasn't the time for it, when you wanted your contract and all that, and it was getting crazy. And I'm like, yo, Jack, just chill. You're gonna get your money. Just chill, and some things we want right then and there, but it just don't happen when we want it. Everything happens on God's timing, because it's God's plan. So, I would say most importantly to all the youth out there, as you develop the dream, have patience with that dream.
That's light, bro. I appreciate you saying that light, man. One thing kind of stuck out was what you said you hated about obviously being able to, with being a professional athlete, not only a professional athlete, when you reach a certain standard or reach a certain success, it comes with a lot, the money, the fame, the cars, jury, women, the whole nine, right? So that stuck out to me that you said you hated that, because I can only imagine the temptation or, the pressure. Yeah. It's like the world just sitting on you. And I don't think a lot of people realize being a professional athlete, being someone to come from where we came from, not being able to put food on your plate. I mean, on your table sometimes. You get what I'm saying? And then out of nowhere, snap of a finger, we could go buy the whole fucking store if we wanted to. Yeah. So I kind of want you to speak on that. Like, what was that like for you coming from, Virginia and growing up, how you grew up, to being able to be the first Black quarterback where everyone across America knew Michael Vick? You get what I'm saying? You could buy whatever. You could have the cars, you could have the clothes, the jewelry. You could have everything you wanted. Like, what do you think your biggest downfall was about that?
Thinking I needed to bring everybody along with me. Like, I tried to bring the whole hood with me. Like, man, we all struggle together. We all gonna come up together. But it ain't enough room for everybody to come up, because, we enter into a space where we don't even know what the hell we getting into. We just getting paid to play ball, and we getting a lot of money. But we looking back at our fellas like, man, come on, man. I don't care, man. Even if you just got to sit in the chair and just wait for me to get home. When we get home, we're going to put a plan together. We're going to have a good time. We're going to do what we do. We're going to make it shake one way or another. And when we do that, we kind of handicap our guys, and they start becoming dependent on us. And then, all of a sudden, we start looking at it like, man, as we get older, we out here grinding, and we doing, all the training and X, Y, Z. And, now it's becoming a frustrating situation because, we just wasting time doing other stuff, staying sidetracked and not creating something that can last us a lifetime. But it's hard when you don't know, and when you don't have the people and the resources, and we got to grow into that. And in a lot of ways, I blame the people that was around us for, while we in practice, why you ain't going out and trying to make, the best out of our situations. It didn't come till later on in our careers, when we realized, all right, we got to get this together. I know for me, you still playing, and I got to remember that you like 10 years younger than me, and all that good stuff. But yeah, Jack, this shit, it's a little wishy-washy, man. You gotta, to the youngest coming into the game, man, I always tell them, like, bro, spend time, studying the game, spend time having fun playing the game, save your money. Man, look, go buy some nice cars, a couple of nice cribs, if that's what you want. But other than that, man, don't give your money to the street. And you know what I mean when I say give your money, that come in all forms. That's everything. You know what I'm saying? To the fellas, to the women, man, don't give all your money to the street, man. You know what I mean? Because it becomes an addiction. You know what I'm saying? They take away from what's most important. And I think guys who work hard, and God bless you to be in a situation, yes, things gonna come along with it, and it's natural. I'm not saying you're gonna be a saint, but you better you better be able to put a host on it when you need to.
And that touched me seriously, bro. Like I can just remember, when I was in the locker room with you, and you used to be like, damn, Jack, like, don't go down the same path I went down, bro. He was like, you got a lot of dudes around you. I see everything that you are. He was like, I was. And I'm telling y'all this because this game right now, like, literally while big bro was talking, I fucking had chills and damn near wanted to cry because I could remember that shit, bro. And like he said, I fought a lot of shit. I got fired. I got cut because they thought I was a gang member and I hung out with whoever I hung out with. But I can remember Mike Vick telling me, like, bro, don't go down that same path I went down, D-Jack. He said, I see it. He was like, you worrying me, bro. I can remember you told me that shit. And for me, bro, that was the realest shit you could have probably ever told me. Like, bigger than any touchdown you could have thrown to me. Bigger than any play that ever we stepped on the field. Because it was like, that right there, bro, clicked on. Something clicked about that because I seen what you had to go through, bro. I witnessed you getting everything taken away from you.
And all you used to ever tell me was like, yo, bro, like, you used to ask me a lot of questions. You asked more questions than Shady too. Y'all asked a lot of questions, man. Y'all wanted to know. And I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? I felt like it was only right to be honest with y'all because I cared about y'all a lot.
Man, that's much love, bro. So like I say, man, I just want to tell you I appreciate you. So y'all sitting back home watching this, man, keep going, man. Don't think the odds outbeat you, bro. The odds is what it's for. You got to beat the odds.
Yeah. I like the challenge. I like the fact that we challenge ourselves now to do different things, and we look at what we're doing now. Like I'm doing TV, and you got your own podcast set up, Fade the Booth. It's dope. And then I told you, like, in a couple of years, and whenever you're ready, whenever you retire, you can transition to this TV side of things, man. You got everything it takes to do it, and just keep learning the game, keep having fun with the game, and then God got a path for you. I'm gonna always be there for you.
I appreciate it. That's a real brother right there. And I kind of want to touch on it because you have been telling me, like, bro would call me out of nowhere, like, and I'm just checking what you doing. Like, for those of y'all who don't know, like, me and big bro, we stay connected, we stay locked in. He always call and check on me and vice versa. I'll call and check on him. But it's crazy because he's staying in Cali now, with the pandemic going on. He like, I'm out here out your way, but shit, I'm thinking about you. Said, shit, when you retire, I got this gig for you at Fox. I'm like, shit, for sure, I'm coming. Then what I tell you,
got a spot for you, baby. We're gonna keep a spot for you.
I appreciate it, man.
They love you, they respect you.
It's much love, man. And vice versa, man. I appreciate you coming on Fade the Booth, man. Y'all, it's the one and only Michael Vick. He just touched down at Fade the Booth, man. That's a real nigga, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jack. Thanks for having me, dog. You can have me on anytime. You know that.
I got the money, but my pride keep me in the streets. I got the hustle, but we guarantee we gon' eat. I got a few plays. I'm quarterback. I'm Tom Brady, 12 in the pack, and I'ma throw it. Get my arm.